You're listening to the Ento Podcast, and I'm your host, Ross. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you giving me your ears for this episode. So again, today's show's not a usual show. They're going to start later on this week. So it's another bio show where we look at someone leading the way in the Ento world. But before we start, just want to say hi to a few of the latest listeners. Really think I should have started this when I started the show back in 2017. Now the show's been going on too long, too many listeners, too many sort of countries that we're in. So I'm not going to go back and sort of say hi to guys. New people come in. If you comment on the show over at the entopodcast.co.uk, you could get your name and get a shout out on the next one. So a big hi and thanks for tuning in to Patrick over at Twitter at Warped Labs, Kiwi Power at Kiwi Powered, and Boldlygrowhomestead, and they're at Boldlygrown. Thanks again, guys, for liking the show. I hope you enjoy this one. Remember, if you leave a comment or go over to Facebook, you could be on one of the next episodes. Okay, back to the show. So as I said, it's going to be a bio show, and today we're looking at Robyn Shapiro. So first entry into the business world was at a ripe old age of 15, where she froze fruit in the middle of the hot summer and corralled her friends into joining her to sell it in Boston's Harvard Square. Years later, motivated by a broken system around Westerners' increasing and unsustainable desire for meat, Robyn was convinced that crickets provided a fresh solution, as they provide comparable amounts of protein, but with far less of an impact on our environment and animals' lives. What began as a series of dinners with her friends at home evolved into Seek, allowing people from all over the world to join the movement in eating crickets. She's also worked as a rooftop farmer for down at Eagle Street, and they're the nation's first commercial green roof farm, and served as a deputy director at Lowline, a solar-illuminated future underground park with plants and vegetables. To those who've been around the Ento field for a while, you may remember the Terraform Porcupine Modular Cricket Farm. Robyn was also involved in that as an advisor, I believe. And for those of you listening who have no idea what I'm on about, I'll put a link in the show notes. But it was a modular cricket farm that appeared on the dockside in New York and had these spikes running along the top to help with airflow. Looked like a porcupine or a sort of punk Mohican. Really funky sort of design. It would have been worthy of appearing in a Mad Max or Blade Runner film, but they'd have to change because the original design was white, and white just wouldn't fit in with any of those films. Anyway, back to Seek Foods, who among their advisors and founders are names like Gary Vaynerchuk and David George Gordon, the bug chef. Seek Foods are also members of the 1% for the Planet organization, where they give 1% of all proceeds to food-focused non-profits close to their hearts. So some of the projects they've got picked out are Edible Schoolyard, New York City, Farms to Orphans, and our good friends Little Herds. So Robyn and the guys and girls of Seek Foods have also got a new cookbook out, where they have delicious cricket flour recipes from respected chefs to help you embrace the new wave of food sustainability. Before I go on, Karen, usually long-term listeners know that I hate the use of cricket flour in titles, but this one is fine, and it's because it is actually a cricket flour, so it's a general all-purpose flour that's got cricket protein powder mixed in with it. A lot of the companies we used to call the milled cricket flour, but there were lots of complaints and it confused a lot of the public. So everyone sort of started changing it to a cricket flour, from a cricket flour to a cricket powder. But it still amazed me how many people, even nowadays, so the new guys who turn up still use the cricket flour description. Anyway, back to the cookbook. So the guys at Seek Foods talk to a range of award-winning chefs and bakers, and the cookbook provides an intriguing look into the nutritional sustainability benefits of crickets, paired with the unique perspective from the culinary professionals responsible for making their future just a little bit more delicious. So as I mentioned, Seek Foods do a cricket protein powder. They do the all-purpose cricket protein flour. They also have a gluten-free cricket flour, which is a mixture of brown white rice, potato starch and cricket powder. They do a paleo cricket flour, which is arrowroot and almond flour with coconut flour and tapioca and a cricket powder, and a range of cricket granola and snack bites. So I'll put links to the Seek foods in the show notes, and then later on this year I'll be doing a review of the Seek cookbook. But that's it for today's show, so thanks again for listening. Really does mean a lot to me. If you enjoyed it, please head over to iTunes and subscribe, or follow so you can follow the show, or head on over to Facebook and like us. Don't forget to leave a comment, say whether whether it's good, whether you want the intro music back in, or whether you're happy as it is. But that's it for today's show, so this is Russ saying ta-ra for now.
Thanks so much for listening to the Ento Podcast. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit theentopodcast.co.uk and on Facebook and Twitter at the Ento Podcast. We'll catch you next time.